than what is happening with the alcohol. I don't think there's any possibility that there would be any difference. But I would really like to say something else, and I would like to read something, if that's okay. It's very important that I read this. I'm going to have 3 minutes, right?
You do.
Okay, I want to
but
read
I
this.
don't want to read like scripture from the Bible, so I want everybody
Well,
to be able to understand.
I'm not going to read scripture from the Bible,
Okay.
but I'm a pastor of the church.
Yes, sir.
And the only reason I'm here is because of this situation.
Okay.
Okay?
I'm
But
glad about that.
what I would like to do is read the First Amendment to the Constitution. Okay, so the First Amendment to the Constitution says, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. When I can't come up here and talk about my religion or the Bible, you are hindering my free exercise thereof. And so whatever Taylor thinks is wrong about that. But it goes on to say, nor prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Now that's what we're doing here. Now I want to give you a couple quotes from a couple founding fathers. See, the founding fathers were just like the Bible because they read the Bible every day. Our Constitution was founded on the Bible. And so here is Benjamin Franklin. The longer I live, the more convincing proofs I see of this truth, that God governs in the affairs of men, and if a sparrow cannot fall to the ground without his notice, is it probable that an empire can rise without his aid? When we take a stand against God, and that's what pharmakia, sorcery, that's what that is, not quoting the scripture, but that's what that is. When we take a stand against God, we're taking a stand that will cause us trouble. And then Ronald Reagan, just one more thing. Ronald Reagan, that letter's, the Danbury Baptist tells you all about, this is talking about the Capitol building. For the first maybe 70 years of the United States of America, the Capitol building was used as a church with thousands of people going there. Now, how can you say there's separation of church and state? The man whose letter that comes from, Thomas Jefferson, was the person who voted in the Senate to approve that the Capitol would be used for church. That was, by the way, about a month after he was elected President of the United States of America. Now, let me give you one more thing. By the way, marijuana will destroy this city. But let me give you one more thing. Ronald Reagan, if we ever forget that we are one nation under God, then we will be a nation gone under. I'm a citizen of Taylor for many years. I also say vote no to
Thank you,
these
Mr.
marijuana
Burke.
facilities. Thank you.
I just want to state too, also, if you don't mind, just wait 1 minute for me if you could. I had mentioned that I had gotten comments through the email that said that some of the readings from the Bible and stuff were clouding the issues at hand for this ordinance. So all I wanted to say was that you could just use your 3 minutes to speak to the ordinance and your feelings about the ordinance, how it affects you personally. And I understand that you're a pastor, and I appreciate that. And
I think I'm also a student of history.
Yes, a student of history, which I love that. And so I think it's important that you do have your right to come up here and talk and say whatever you want. But since there was a room full of people, I was hoping that we could stick to the 3 minutes and add something to the conversation that was strictly about this ordinance. And I understand that being a pastor and our, people have feelings and want to talk about, their religion. But I was hoping to get a more concise conversation here tonight. But certainly, sir, come back up at the end. And if you have more to say, we're here to listen.
I could say what I was going to say originally.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very good, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
To the chair, if I may, just my job as a corporation counsel is to make sure this city council doesn't do anything improper. And Pastor Burke is correct that residents here have the right of free speech to say what they want. Under the Open Meetings Act, they can only be shut down from what they're saying. If they're actually disturbing the meeting, I don't think anybody here is disturbing the meeting. But Chairman Grandin is also correct that we would ask that you try to stick to the issue at hand before the council, which is addressing this particular marijuana proposal that's been put before this council for a decision. So we try to stick to that and not get off on too many tangents that would be helpful there.
And it certainly is just a suggestion. When you come up here, you can say what you like, but we do need to stick to the 3 minutes, and then if you still have more to say, I would ask that you please come back at the end when everyone is done, and we're here to listen. Thank you. Next.
Virginia Schroeder, 24755 Melanie Lane.
Can you speak louder, just a little? This other microphone.
This
Yes.
All right, sorry about that. Virginia Schroeder on 24755 Melanie Lane. So this is clearly a contentious issue for all communities, not just ours. A clear faction of our city does want recreational marijuana stores here, and they've gone through the process to get this on the November ballot to ask the community if we agree with them. They're going through that process right now. What I'm asking you to do is ask us what we want, let us vote. This is a very contentious issue for everybody. If we vote no as a community, then your question is answered and it's done. If we vote yes, then you begin the process that we voted on. If you need to make amendments or changes or modifications, then we work as a community, and that is done. That's how this process works, and that's great. By creating your own ordinance without this hot button issue being put to a vote on the ballot, I think is divisive and usurping the will of the people. So now, we all know that the marijuana money-making machine has very deep pockets and wants to take a lot from a community with unstable results for those communities. And with your permission, I have printed out a current and timely article written by an economist. It's entitled, "There Goes the Neighborhood, Legalized Marijuana and Property Values." This research demonstrates that home prices that are near, proximal to the new dispensaries, this is not talking about the entire city, it's talking about homes, residences that are near to those dispensaries, drop by 3 to 4% on average. This is similar with the drop in home prices near a power plant by 3 to 7%, a registered sex offender by 4%. Marijuana facilities are not beneficial to the residents in their immediate vicinity. And I do want to be clear on this. I am in full support of medical and recreational marijuana usage. There are benefits to society at large. I'm also in favor of strip clubs, power plants, residential drug abuse programs, halfway houses, and registering sex offenders. These things may all benefit society at large, but they all come with a cost to the people of the local community, the neighbors of those businesses. None of these things that I listed help my community with my community pride, with my home, with my property value, my neighborhood, or my city. We deserve to vote on whether our community wants marijuana facilities in the city or not.
Thank you. Any comments from the council? Next in line, please. Hello.
Hello. Hello, my name is Barbara Stewart, and hi Cynthia, hi Mayor Holly, chairperson, and councilman. I've lived in Taylor for over 40-some years. I love Taylor. And I have family that are on the board. I have family that live in Taylor, and we love Taylor. So I don't really think that having marijuana in our community is a good idea, because it would affect us. And like nicotine affected the people that went into restaurants, they had no choice but to inhale this. Okay, I have people in my neighborhood that are smoking the marijuana. I'm in my backyard, I'm inhaling this. I'm allergic, okay? So I can't get away from this.
minutes, can please be quiet?
I'm not
So let the
lying.
people speak.
I'm telling the truth. Why should I come in here and lie? And my neighbor said, oh, he has to smoke this because he has a medical condition. Okay, that's good for him, but what about my condition? I have to inhale this, I'm breathing this in the atmosphere, in the air. When it goes in, how are you going to get away from it? You can't, can you? Because, you're inhaling this. And remember the nicotine, how it affected the children, it affects our young people, our children, and it even affects us. And I'm concerned about our health. I try to have as good a health as I can. I'm a senior now, and I try to take care of myself and my health. But then, these people are smoking this, and they're my neighbor. And I asked,